If collecting is your love,
I want more.
every day.
That's not true. He likes me because I'm loud and a brat and he can make me shut up later. Oh, I wish I didn't say that out loud.
The hits just keep on coming.
Stream so that I have a good looking head. When you say website, I don't think action figures. Thomas! Thomas! You and I need to have a conversation. You and I need to have a conversation because on the back is numero uno. I love this book. I love it.
Always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah. Before you get excited, that's a tail. The turtles had tails. Yeah, that's a tail. Thank you for pointing that it is a tail. That's a tail. The original turtles had tails. DCD Collects proudly presents signed, certified, and delivered. Each envelope has one 9.8 Sig Series comic book graded by CGC. These are hand-picked for you. 7 out of 10, my lord. It could take 6 months of being constipated before they die from the buildup. Not just any Iron Man. The Iron Man that saved us all.
In the box!
Doug! It's the Captain!
And I gotta say, that shield was pretty fun to paint too. It's chunky.
It is chunky.
Chunky with the oil paint.
Yeah.
Call on me and collect with DCD. If collecting is your love,
I want more.
That's not true. He likes me because I'm loud and a brat and he can make me shut up later. Oh, I wish I didn't say that out loud.
The hits just keep on coming.
Stream so that I have a good looking head. When you say website, I don't think action figures. Thomas! Thomas! You and I need to have a conversation. You and I need to have a conversation because on the back is numero uno. I love this book. I love it.
Always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah. Before you get excited, that's a tail. The turtles had tails. Yeah, that's a tail. Thank you for pointing that it is a tail. That's a tail. The original turtles had tails. DCD Collects proudly presents signed, certified, and delivered. Each envelope has one 9.8 Sig Series comic book graded by CGC. These are hand-picked for you. 7 out of 10, my lord. It could take 6 months of being constipated before they die from the buildup. Not just any Iron Man. The Iron Man that saved us all.
In the box!
Doug! It's the Captain!
And I gotta say, that shield was pretty fun to paint too. It's chunky.
It is chunky.
Chunky with the oil paint.
Yeah.
call on me and collect with DCD. If collecting is your love
I want more.
every day.
That's not true. He likes me because I'm loud and a brat and he can make me shut up later. Oh, I wish I didn't say that out loud.
The hits just keep on coming.
Stream so that I have a good looking head. When you say website, I don't think action figures. Thomas! Thomas! You and I need to have a conversation. You and I need to have a conversation because on the back is numero uno. I love this book. I love it.
Always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah. Before you get excited, that's a tale. Before you get excited, I'm here. What's up, everyone? Oh, goodness gracious. Listen, the title of this one is Working Wednesday. I've been here since 9:30. I have been. It'll be 12 hours at work by the end of the day. I are working. Crystal Juan babies. Hello. What up, Carlos Sepulros? Hello, lady. Hey, Rebel Art, how are you doing? Man, oh man. Yeah, it has been, what have I doing? I have been, so even on the way to work today. So many words, not a complete sentence. On my way to work today, I had a nice 35-minute phone call with Daniel Gonzalez. It's always, listen, I consider Daniel Gonzalez a friend. The fact that he does art for the company is just kind of a bonus. Daniel, great human being. What's the Muppets thing? Give me a second to tell my story. What's up, Don? And Rebel Art, I will be more than excited to tell you about Muppets. The reason I'm telling a story is actually as an update for a project that's coming. 2 projects, technically. So the first one is, he got a clutch of sketch cards. And he is doing something that is pretty magical. I can't tell you what it is, but just know that Daniel is doing sketch cards, and it may or may not involve playing cards, and it may or may not be a ton of fun. And we should have that soon, as in like a week or 2. In addition, Thomas, I don't know if you're watching live because I haven't looked to see who's here, but if you are watching the video, Thomas, your cover, your Juggernaut cover, is actually his very next project once he finishes our sketch cards. Your cover is coming. May or may not be a ton of fun. Yeah, it may or may not be. So, Muppets. Let's talk about Muppets. Listen, I've been here so long that I didn't even shower and shave before the show. Usually, I shower and shave 2 hours before the show, so I am so fresh and so clean for you. And I got here, and I have been here all day, did not go home, did not shave. See, look, not shaved. Tomorrow, I will be shaved. But today, I have been working for you, because in addition to talking to Daniel, I also, we talked about moving to the new office, if the offer is accepted, and we talked about sports cards. So anyway, Muppets. This is the Muppets. I just need some focus. Speaking of focus, I also need some scotch. There we go. We do like a freshly I try. So this is what's funny, Rebel Art. We did this project. It features Paul Maitland and Kevin P. West. We did 15 boxes. Unbelievably, because it is a small world, the art community, as you know. Guy Gilchrist, who was Jim Henson's cartoonist, caught wind of the project and not only personally gave us a thumbs up seal of approval, but came on and did a 55-minute interview with me about Muppets and Jim Henson and Muppet Babies, because he was the designer for Muppet Babies. We talked about Fraggle Rock, which he also helped design, which is one of my personal favorites. And it was wonderful. So, in addition to a guaranteed, what up, Dermot? Love you! Which wasn't amazing. It was listen, if you get an opportunity, go back and watch the VOD where we talk with Guy Gilchrist. It is 100% worth watching. It is inspirational to artists as well, because I asked him what every budding artist needs to know for advice, and he gave it to us. He actually said, this is my piece of advice for each and every one of you artists. So, booyah. In here is not only a sketch card, I believe there should be a Lego figure in most of them, and a pack of Muppet cards, and then the giveaways. One is this absolutely stunning painted Paul Maitland Electric Mayhem. That's a 9x12 canvas board. Oh, you got the Kermit minifig? That is awesome. That is awesome. We also have a Guy Gilchrist sketch card. That is the other giveaway. We are down to the final four, and we just reduced the price. So pretty soon, it is Muppet Christmas Carol. Pretty soon, those giveaways will be ready to go. Once those final four sell, it's giveaway time. I also got to run into and hang out with Guy at LA Comic Con. James drew him a Kermit, and this is how big this man's heart is. In addition to that, so he gave it to Guy, and Guy said, "Oh, that's a really good Kermit. Why don't I show you how I draw Kermit?" And he went ahead and illustrated a Kermit for James to have. He says, "I will trade you your art for my art." And now James has this beautiful, like, big, beautiful Kermit personalized to him. Guy Gilchrist, God, there needs to be more people like Guy on this planet. Seriously. Wonderful human being, cares deeply about Jim Henson's legacy, and there are very few people that are as wonderful as him. It's real. It's true. It's true. So yeah, Jimmy is not here today because I elected to be at work all day today to get a sports card order together. Now listen, it's not officially official. I researched, for no exaggeration, 4 hours. Now, mind you, in that 4 hours, I only came up with 4 items that I thought, in my professional opinion, and based on my history in the sports card industry. What's up, Pat? I can say with confidence, I know what I'm talking about when it comes to value in cards. We were not necessarily looking for hobbies right now. I was looking for a mix of hobby, mega, blaster, and other. And I wanted to dip our toes into a little bit of everything. Hello, me lord. It is slightly football heavy because I specialize in football, and I am very aware of what is a good value when it comes to football. So, for my sports people, the foosball, this is what I have pitched. It is up to the boss to agree. 7 mega boxes of 2024 Donruss Optic, giving you a chance at an auto, a downtown, or an uptown. We are hit chasing on that one. Plus, Optic rookies, even the base rookies, are pretty solid cards to have. Get them graded PSA 10. They hold a good amount of value. For baseball, you know what? I'm going to get the list. Let me pull it up real quick. What a sailor, what a sailor. 2024, and this is a hobby box. So this one's going to be a little bit more expensive. But listen, you're going to find this worth it. All right, I want to double check my source before I say this out loud and look like a fool, because even people who know what they're doing sometimes need a check. All right. 2024 Topps. DC, you'd never look like a fool. Well, if you always look like a fool, then you never look like a fool, am I right? If fool is your regular dress, then you're always in uniform, right? That's how I see it. 2024 Topps Heritage High Number Baseball Hobby Boxes. Oh. Did your ears perk up? What is so special about the 2024 Topps Heritage High Number Baseball? I'm so glad you asked. That is Paul Skeens' rookie card for Heritage. It is one of the only ones that year that were not short printed. As you know, in most of the base sets, Skeens' rookie was a short printed card. Now, yes, I am aware that makes it not as high of a value as other ones. However, how many Paul Skeens rookie cards do you own? Yeah, I thought so. This is going to be a very inexpensive way to get your hands on one. They're still worth $30 to $40. I've seen them ungraded for a decent amount. I've seen them graded in PSA 10 for a lot amount. So I thought this was a great way to get your hands on a Skeens rookie at a great value. It was the high number Heritage, and Heritage, by the way, is just fun. I am hoping he grabs 4 of those boxes. Now, we are starting small. We got to make sure everybody wants what we're giving them before we start getting big orders. Hockey people, where you at? I found some reasonable hobby boxes that'll be right around the price of baseball. Football, stupid expensive. That's why those are megas. Football is just dumb expensive, especially 2024. 2024, let's be forthright, one of the better rookie classes in a while. As a Sabres fan, I try my best to forget that trust me, man, I'm still a Sabres fan too. 2023-24 Upper Deck Trilogy. Now, I know Trilogy and I have had a very checkered past, but I was assured that Trilogy is a lot better than it was in 2019-2020. It is very good priced, and can anybody name the rookies we're looking for in 2023? One of them should be pretty quick for you to answer. That's right, Sapporo Celebrini. Celebrate. It will be. And then finally, Will Smith getting jiggy with it. 2023 Panini Prism WWE Blasters. Listen, folks, I don't know if you're in the Discord, but I had a conversation with Crystal and Juan and probably the babies on Discord. And quite frankly, WWE prices are insane for the limited guarantees that they have. Specifically targeting the 2023 Prism Blasters would make it right around $50 a box. And autographs are live in the blaster boxes. I did get that confirmed. And Rhea Ripley is a signer in that set. Yeah, Insane is putting it nicely. So I have pitched that he buys 4 of those. Mommy, she is. But listen, I've said it before. I'll say it again. My love of wrestling is in the 80s, early 90s. I understood the Generation X era, and I loved Shawn Michaels. And then it got a little, after that, it got a little, all right, I don't need some of these storylines as a child. Right, exactly, 80s, 90s. Now, I also grew up meeting and getting to know a lot of the wrestlers because they stayed at my dad's hotel in the 80s. So I got to meet Junkyard Dog. I got to meet Hercules Hernandez. I got to meet those guys. Stephanie Vacour. Yes, I have seen a couple of her matches. She's the one that's like super technical. Am I correct? She is, yeah, and she's a technical wrestler, if I'm not mistaken. Was he Junk Food Dog at the time? Not in 1986, he wasn't. I had a phone call at 2 a.m. with the Iron Sheik when I was 5. Was cocaine involved? Yes. Was I the one on cocaine? No. Yeah, I do think I know who she is. She's Hispanic. Is that who I'm thinking of? Did he call you Bubba? No, I didn't understand most of what he was saying. Yeah, I know exactly who she is. Yeah, no, she's great. So, yeah, Horns. Yep, I know. Now I know. Yep, I do know her. As a matter of fact, I may or may not be following her because I was kind of impressed by her swagger. But I got out of it when I was in the military. I definitely did not have time for wrestling overseas. It was, worrying about dying. And then when I got out, I grew an appreciation for wrestling and knowing, getting to meet wrestlers, especially in my profession, and really going back and watching. And now that the kayfabe has been pulled back and they're embracing the entertainment portion of it, I'm actually really starting to enjoy it more. The Attitude Era wasn't for everybody. WCW, Eric Bischoff, I hate to say this because I don't want to start a wrestling argument right now. But Eric Bischoff is one of the most intelligent promoters in the history of wrestling. And I hate him. And I'm saying it because, God, it's smart, man. Eric Bischoff, what he did should have saved his network, but it was the backdoor dealings that ruined his network. But I'm not going to get into that. That's not why I'm here. He's like, agree to disagree. I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm not gonna this. But Eric Bischoff knew how to turn the knobs to really dig into WWE. Unfortunately, WWE was so buried. Had the average viewer so buried in the kayfabe that you wouldn't listen to anything else. Again, I'm not going to get into that. Because now that the kayfabe has been pulled back, I'm starting to appreciate it more. I'm appreciating the current years where the WWE and other wrestling ventures as well are embracing the entertainment side of it, are showing the humanity of the people. You still have the larger than life figures, but they allow you to see the wrestlers as humans, as family men and women, as mothers, sisters, brothers, dads. I'm actually more impressed with how things are being run now, allowing you to humanize these larger than life characters. I was enamored with the Cody Rhodes story. I thought that was brilliant. I know that the father's legacy. I know the whole backstory. I know. But the moments where they're saying, "Hey, this wrestler is going to get his moment." It's their time. Like them acknowledging, like the whole finish the story. They were literally telling you, hey, he's going to finish the story. This is this arc that we've built. You're going to see this, and then we're going to get into our next arc. They're literally telling you they're writing arcs for people. That, to me, is more impressive because they're telling you what's going to happen, and they're still surprising you in how they do it. That, to me, is awesome. The amount of nostalgia that they are putting into it. Let's talk about John Cena and AJ Styles. Can we? Do we have enough time to talk about that match? How that was a basic history lesson for any fan of wrestling. So glad they turned. His heel turn was. They always do that. The heel gets his baby right before the retirement match. Unless they're known as a heel, then they get their heel moment, like Ric Flair was gonna heel the Heartbreak Kid no matter what, even though technically it didn't end up being his last match. It would have been a beautiful finale. Best part of the match was AJ wearing the attire from the magazine cover they both appeared in 20 years ago. What up, Money Mitch? He's right, can't go out on a bad note. Money Mitch, I want you to know, and I want you and Carlos to know that some Magic the Gathering Spider-Man is coming. Now listen, because I'm your man, I have a really awesome deal that we got. There are 4 iterations of Spider-Man MTG. And I'll get back to wrestling. This is the first time he's chimed in that I saw. I'm not getting the player booster boxes because I have found out the players booster boxes, the booster pack boxes, do not have the hobby exclusive suit variant chases. Only Hobby has those. Hobby's running about $450 a box. But they did a limited number of pre-orderable gift boxes. We were able to snag 4 in the pre-order, which was the maximum we were allowed to get. These boxes come with 9 packs, and I believe 1 bonus. These have those super expensive suit variants possible and textured foils possible in those, at least the bonus pack, maybe the other 9. They weren't very clear on which packs. They just said that aside from hobby boxes, these are the only place that you can get the variants. These, as opposed to being 450 plus, granted are not 24 packs, they're only 10 packs. But the cost will be about $110. So, for a substantially less amount, you're getting almost half a hobby box. And they're in limited number. The gift boxes are in limited production. They are just meant kind of like a get your toes wet. So they limited the number of gift boxes. I grabbed the 4. I was allowed to get 4. It was at max 4. We got them. So yes, they are going to be substantially less expensive. They are a little bit less than the booster pack boxes. There's a lot less cards. But I've come to find out those booster pack boxes, which basically the drafting for when you play draft, I can't remember what it's called. I play it and I don't even remember what it's called. Where you pass the pack along, draft break, like draft tournament, whatever. Those ones don't have the exclusives. Scuba, no. At no time did he ever think about putting in booster draft. Thank you, man. At no time did he consider putting in more of these. No. Nope. He wants me to use those for There Will Be Bloods. But hold on. Scuba! How are you doing, man? But yeah, the booster draft packs, while good, guaranteeing you a foil in every one, do not have the suit variants. Now, the suit variants are very tough pulls, but they can sell for hundreds and thousands of dollars depending on which variant you get. Different variants have different rarities, textured foil being the most rare. So, I'm not joking when I said I did 4 hours of research and only came up with 4 products for you guys that I felt was worth it. With none of them being over 200. I believe the hobby boxes will be around 180 in that area. Nothing is going to be over 200. So I know, Money Mitch. I'm aware. But yeah, it is everything I got took hefty consideration. And to me, and again, based on my knowledge of the industry and my knowledge of the behind the scenes part of the industry, everything I have purchased, I will stand my reputation behind as a product that is the best value for your money. I did not dip into the higher end. Even I had almost carte blanche to pick higher end stuff if needed. I was given a dollar budget, not a box budget. And I chose to go on the lower end just because value and great cards can be found outside of a $500 box. And I'm going to prove it to you with the ones that we are going to get, barring Doug's approval. He's like, you had me a box. Maybe you can coax him into it? Maybe. So, Josh Allen sells pistachios now. So now I'm eating almost only pistachios because Josh Allen said so. So let me get back to wrestling. So those boxes are waiting for the Spider-Man already bought because you had to get those quick. They are pre-order and I don't think they launch till the 20th. So we wouldn't get those until probably the end of next week. But they're there. Those are already definitively ordered. The sports boxes are up to Doug's approval. But I did actually make a case for them in the email that I sent him saying, this is what you want. This is why you want them. So we'll see. Few words describe your day. Empty, depressed, crying, rage. Was it yesterday I got my cry on, or was it the day before? I cried a little bit at the John Candy documentary, although it wasn't the best. It was good. I didn't cry because it was a great documentary. I cried because I just remembered how much I miss John Candy. I Like Me. Yeah, it wasn't that great. It really wasn't. Almost everything I already knew about him. Sabres are up 7-4 with 11 minutes in the third. They'll blow it. I am a researcher. I am somebody who sticks my nose into the rabbit hole. And a lot of that I already knew about John Candy. I was hoping to find some stuff I didn't know, but I knew almost everything about that. And I did have a cry at the end just because damn it, I missed that man. And I also realized I am 2 years older than him when he died. You gotta stop and think about that. John Candy was 43 when he died. That is bonkers. So that also hit me, the mortality of one of the kindest, greatest entertainers was just a young buck when he passed. So that got me. And I think I cried about something else the other day too. So trust me, Scoobs, I get you, man. I do. So wrestling. I love me some wrestling. Rhea, let's finally get to where this all started. Let's bring it full circle, in the squared circle. Ms. Ripley, mommy, when she first started and was blonde, I was tipped off by somebody saying, dude, this is an actual fan who became a wrestler. And I was like, oh, now how do you know? They're like, her Instagram is her Instagram. It's actually hers. It is her childhood Instagram from when she was like 15 years old. Go to her Instagram. It's not run by the WWE. Well, at the time it wasn't. And just, you can watch this girl go from fangirling in Australia, meeting her local wrestling idols and fangirling, getting in the ring the first time, wrestling, and then they've kind of deleted the part from Discovery to semi-pro. There is a gap in there, and then Stardom. So I mean, she's super talented. You can't say she's not. I am a fan because that is a fan getting to do what they're a fan of. That is like David Ayers, a beer league and semi-pro hockey player, getting to be the Carolina Hurricanes goalie and getting a win in his first ever start. You miss Doink the Clown? Yeah. Look up Doink the Clown as a person. You'll like him less. But no, I appreciate Doink. I am a fan because that is every child's sports fan's dream. That is the kid in Sao Paulo, Brazil, that has a taped up ball of rags that he kicks in a dirt yard with 2 sticks as goalposts, signing for Team Brazil. That is the kid in Puerto Rico that has a literal broomstick and a baseball that has broken stitches, pitching it to himself and hitting it out of the park, getting signed by the Dodgers. That is, your kid who grew up with a pedal car and doing Pinewood derbies and ultimately getting onto the track in go-karts, becoming a NASCAR sensation. I mean, that's it. Hey, what's going on, Paul? How are you doing, man? We were just talking about some Muppets. There's only 4 boxes left, and then we got some giveaways to do. And then we started talking about wrestling. But I did watch the John Cena Styles match. I did watch all of the finishers. It was awesome to see them trading finishers. And I was naming them right along with the announcers. It was good. You ordered 100 copies of the book? Heck yeah. Jurassic Pork. The Bray Wyatt moment where Cena looked around the crowd. Yeah, that's what I was just saying. It's all right. Bray's gave the chills. Looked around the crowd and then he kind of looked up real quick and smiled. That was, yeah, all the lights. Yep, the fireflies. That was awesome. That was awesome. They did the history of wrestling well. Nope, Scoobs, nobody did. Nobody bought any There Will Be Blood. For those who are wondering what he's talking about, for those who have not been here, This is what's in there. It is the Guy Gilchrist sign print, Super Break bundle, a Tatiana page, Brainy Smurf cell and art, and the Tommy Wiseau autograph prize pack. That was great. That match should be studied.
Go ahead, have a drink, Lila.
A little bottle of water.
A little bottle of water.
A little bottle of water.
Thanks, Don. I needed that. That should be studied on how do we do a greatest hits match live. I did need that. And that's how you do it. Now, granted, you're gonna have to go quite a few years of finishers and character creation before you can do that again. But that is how you do it when you gotta do it. Bravo Zulu to both of those guys. Absolute BZ to both of them. Very good. And yeah, I mean, I can't think of any red-blooded American or Aussie for that matter that isn't a fan of Rhea Ripley, because she's just awesome. So many reasons. Paul, damn it, Paul, there was something that I needed to tell you. And now I don't remember what it was. It was really funny, too. Man. Oh, well. If it comes to me, I'll let you know. I'll text you. It was something your fatherland related joke. It was definitely not Margaret Thatcher and Winston Churchill in a hot tub. But it was funny. And unfortunately, I just don't remember what it was. It was something I was like, I'm going to send that to Paul. Let me look. Wow, we have 32 people hanging out. Hey, 32 people. Who wants a giveaway? Oh, don't fall, Scotch. All right, let's do a giveaway. We got enough people here. It'll be fun. Let's do it. What's going on, Artifacts? How you doing? So, Artifacts, DCD's the channel. You can just call me DC. We're all friends here. Giveaway. What do I want to do? You know, Don, you got me something and said, do with this whatever you will. This one could be fun. Oh, Money Mitch. Money Mitch says, I got my Rebel Art stuff yesterday. Super cool. Shout out again to Rebel Art for being a very generous person. Decided to send out a care package. Who likes Wolverine? Have any Wolverine fans? Don, what can you tell me about this? That was 2 cons ago. It looks better with the plastic off, but I don't want to... Oh, okay, I'll do it. I wasn't eating Cheetos today. It's a very nice high-gloss print. Dare I say it feels like photo paper almost. Carlos is like, right, I remember. That was an artist that they were both very impressed by, and picked up some signed prints and said, hey, DC, Sean Carlson, hey, DC, do with these what you will. Well, Don, I'm going to do with what I will. I am a bit of a communist. That's right, I said it here. I'm a bit of a communist when it comes to collecting and cards and items. I believe that if somebody's like, do with what you will, and I have the opportunity to give it away now, I'm going to do that. I think everyone should have art, and if they can't have art, I think that they should find a way to get art. And I'm going to be that way for them to get art. All right, the giveaway item. Wolverine. Signed. Print. Command. Oh, you know what? Here we go. Done. Regifter. Hello, Mel. Hello, Jimmy. What up, Hellbolt? Love you, man. Hellbolt! Exclamation point Don. You may or may not be able to enter. We'll find out. Yeah, you're in. 8-4 with 2 minutes left. Told you. Told you. 2 minutes, you can score 5 goals. All right, 1 minute remaining. 1 minute remaining. Carlos is like, I'm going to do it twice. Sorry, Carlos. The computer knows. What up, Prue? Prue! Exclamation point Don. Do it. You want to. Durbit. There it is. There it is. We got it. We're all in. We are all in. What are you donning for? This sign print, courtesy of Don and his generosity. Oh, look at that! Bruce like, I don't even know what I'm doing, but I'm winning. Yeah! Okay. Brew, look at you, man. That's so funny. Oh, you just became the bane of everybody in the chat's existence. What up, Craig? That's awesome. Oh, Christmas, that's funny. Oh, whatever it is, I'm in. was so good, man. That was so good. That was so good. Whew. See, folks, anything can happen here at DCD Collects. You just gotta watch. Yeah, at the very least, even if you don't win, you're gonna have fun. Bourbon does not have one. I will be more than happy to send that to Bourbon on your behalf. I will send a note stating that this is a gift from Prue Ackerman, to which he will say, dang it, now I got to find something for him. I don't know what he'll say. Yeah, he'll appreciate that. I can send it to him. Cheers to Prue and his generosity. What up, Kate? How's your pneumonia? Or your pneumoma, however it's spelled. Craig purchased the kit. Craig requested and has received number 10. He has the 10 set. So number 10 is no longer available, folks. These are the exclusive DCD Collects Speed Racers. Only 50 in the world in trade dress. Only 25 in the world in Virgin variant. And only 50 non-numbered sketch covers in our exclusive DCD Collects covers. Yeah. What's DC's KO series about? KO series. I don't know what KO series is. Oh, DC Comics. Man, I thought you were talking about, like, what are you doing with KOs? I'm like, I haven't knocked somebody out in, like, 15 years. I'm trying to think, I'm like, oh, I'm pretty sure I haven't hit anybody lately. That was my younger years. I haven't knocked somebody out since I was in my early 30s. I have no idea. Is my app on? It is, but, oh, my ringer's off. That's why. Now it's on. Scuba! Listen, Scuba is putting y'all on notice. There Will Be Blood, 3 spots left. If you don't know what There Will Be Blood is, you actually do, but just don't know it. There Will Be Blood is like the white elephant, but funner. I actually don't know. So I am not the comic book guy. I am the sports card guy, specifically the football. I am pretty well versed on original art and posters. And a general pop culture know-how is me. Comic books, while I collect them, I am not up to date on the newest runs. I'm a bit of a classics guy. I'm more of a key issue type person, collecting characters that I like and stories that I enjoy, whether they're expensive or cheap, valuable or non. I just like the stuff that I like. So the new stuff by DC, I am not totally familiar with, but what I do know is traditionally, DC has some of the best written books that you will find. They employ some writers that you should know the names of, but don't. Writers that do things in movies and television, they bring them in for comic books. DC's writing, in my opinion, typically, lately, has been better than Marvel's. Now, Marvel tends to, in my opinion, and this is just an opinion, have better artists. Stop, I know. Listen, I get it. I know. There's amazing DC books as well. But by and large, the talent is flocking to Marvel. My friends work at DC. I literally have friends that are currently working on DC Comics. I get it. I love my friends. Sue me. Hold on. DC's KO is a new comic book event featuring a fighting tournament for heroes to compete and earn the title of King Omega, the only one with the power to defeat Darkseid, or is it Darkseid, and save the multiverse. The event is described as a Squid Game meets Mortal Kombat. Holy crap, I'm in. I want to read it. I want to read all of them. Give me them all. Mine. I'm in. I'm down. You got me. You had me at Mortal Kombat with superheroes. So basically, it's that game. It's the DC fighting game. Oh yeah, Sapulros. People don't catch these hands for no reason. They typically have to deserve to catch these hands. Most people don't get this heat. My opinion, comic books are better than stone tablets back in my day. That's true, Hellbolt. They are better than, they're a little more portable than stone tablets. I'm sending you a letter then. I'm sending you a letter. I am suing you, sir. You, sir, check your mail. Check your certified mail. Hey, listen. Wouldn't be the first time. At me. Contest of Champions 2.0, 3.0, yeah. So the clip, the clip for those who can see in the chat is Wimpy Hungry Skunk Squad goals. Wimpy Hungry Skunk Squad goals. That is the name of, that is the Wimpy Hungry Skunk Squad goals. Love it. Let's do the old-fashioned way. I want satisfaction. I challenge you to a duel. Choose your champion. Fragile Delicious Scorpion. Kapow! Oh, listen, you want to talk about Fragile Delicious Scorpions? Oh, this stuff is poison. Oh, this is so bad. If you've noticed, I haven't drank it again since the time I drank it. That's how bad this is. Now, I'm not saying it's bad as in it's poorly made. It's actually a very good moonshine, but it's moonshine, and I don't want to drink it. This is more of a punishment than it is an enjoyment. So now, basically, if I'm in trouble, this is what I'm going to have to take a shot of. Is it me? No, it is actual agave-based moonshine with a real scorpion in it. And the scorpion has its stinger still, so there is absolutely scorpion venom in here. Your punishment is our enjoyment sometimes, though. It's fine. Listen, it's your show. I just host it. My job is to have fun with you. I'm just lucky that way. There are pieces. Wait a second. For those who don't know, Mrs. the Breaker is, I'm DC the Breaker. Mrs. the Breaker is my wife. Yes, folks, it's true. Somebody actually married me and stayed married to me for the last 10 years. Ha ha!
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
How did you trick her, DC? Oh, here's the best part. She's like, I was drunk. I was drunk. What's up, Panda? No. Wait.
life was like a box of chocolates.
It's true.
You never know what you're gonna get.
Not only was she drunk, she was. But let's be clear. Hey, Mrs. the Breaker, who proposed to who? That's how I got Kelly to go out with me. See, Don, sometimes we just need to supply them with a little liquid courage. Mrs. the Breaker proposed to me. Ha! Ha ha ha! Yeah! No, it's funny. Artifacts, this is a true story. This is 100% true story. This is so funny. This is true. I put it on my son's life. I put it on my mama's life. What I'm about to tell you is absolutely true. We decided to elope because, and Mrs. the Breaker is fine with me telling the story. I've told the story before. We decided to elope because my family was in New York. Her entire family was in Florida. We were living in Texas. And we just knew it was going to be completely complicated in getting them. So we had this absolutely gorgeous wedding in front of this wonderful man-made waterfall in Houston with just a circle of our best friends. We wanted to get married. We didn't want the complication. We didn't want the $50,000 expense of a wedding. We just wanted to be married. So we got married, and then we told our family, surprise, we're married. Immediately, the family, now my family, not so much, because I did tell my mother. My mother knew that I was going to get married. I just didn't tell her when. And if my mom knows, then most of my family knows. Oh, you noticed? This was a gift from my friend JK's friend. She is a cosplayer. And she's from South Korea, and she said this would be good luck. And you know what? I'm feeling it. I am feeling it. So we got married. And then 2 weeks later, we find out she's pregnant with our boy, Jimmy Bean. We had no idea. I can tell you we had no idea because we had planned to go to Machu Picchu and do a whole bunch of traveling. I still haven't been to Machu Picchu. That was 10 years ago. Jimmy's 9. Now, I wouldn't trade it for the world. Life is great. Jimmy is the best on the planet. No offense to your kids, but Jimmy's the best on the planet. Mrs. the Breaker has stayed married to me for 10 freaking years. So, hey, whatever people want to believe, we don't care. Believe what you want, but I told you the truth. It is, yes. It doesn't stand up. And listen, not only is it awesome, it's signed by Ron Lim. Hey, listen, I'm excited. I hope she retires and has fun. Yes, Ron Lim signed the gauntlet, because who else are you going to have sign it but Ron? Is that the next giveaway? Oh, no. I don't know if Doug's going to part with that anytime soon. I probably could get... Listen, we have access to Ron Lim. I mean, I could probably get Ron Lim to sign some Gauntlet-related stuff. we'll see what we can do. Yeah, normally it's on. Yeah, that's. I mean, listen, we are. What's the word? Existential. We just, if it's a glove, you wear it. Is it existential? No, wait, not existential. Maybe it is the word. I don't. Now I gotta look to see if that was it. Was that the word I wanted? Yeah, it exists as a glove, so I wear it as a glove. Existential. It's a glove, so I wear it as a glove. I believe that is the right way that I wanted to use that word. Did you get the Hulk hands? No, but Mrs. the Breaker has Hulk hands. in the same way that Lana from Archer has Hulk hands. I'm gonna get in so much trouble for that one. Hulk smash. I'm so effed. I'm gonna keep getting home. I'm just gonna hear the rack of the shotgun. That was ages ago. Honey, that was last week. Oh, I love you, honey. You are the best. She go, yeah. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. Listen, it takes a special kind of woman to have a husband that sits in front of a couple of cameras with a microphone and just has fun with people all across the world. And she's that special kind of person. So, Scuba has purchased 2 There Will Be Blood spots. That means only 3 remain. You know, Money Mitch If you were interested in the items that were in the There Will Be Blood, I could convert your helmet break spot into a There Will Be Blood spot. And then we would be 3 out of 5, needing only 2 more to go. Just throwing it out there. Oh, really? 1,200 per person. Yeah, Money Mitch, talking to you. Would you like me to repeat what I said? I'll do it for you. Thanks, Bolt. I will forward it to Mrs. the Breaker. She is the travel boss. Okay. Definitely liking that one. Ooh. That is, by the way, how that is pronounced in Mrs. the Breaker. Ease. Ooh. In case you were wondering. What else do I have? I feel like Doug and I talked about a bunch of things. And Oh. But what about school? Ooh. Oh, by the way, Mrs. the Breaker is Hispanic. So it is not Telly Savalas going cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha. That is actually because in Spanish, the J is an H. Right, Juan? Kate, you will not be in Vegas when we go. You will be in San Diego, which is Spanish for something. What's the word or collector's opinion on rusty staples in older books? Let it be or remove the rust, etc. One took the staples out, cleaned it, restored it, put it back in. So, I can't answer that question definitively. What I would do is I would Google comic book restoration / staples. Because exactly what Scuba said, if you do not use original staples, CGC could consider it a restored book, and not only ding you in grade, but could also change the color of your label. And some people really care about what color their label is. What is in the There Will Be Blood? I could show you. The first item is the Brainy Smurf original cell from Hanna-Barbera in the 80s. Not only does it come with the cell, you are also getting the original art on the back, which we did not get original art for most of the cells that I was able to acquire. This one had it, and I said, you know what? We're just going to go ahead and give it to them. We're not going to take that out separately. So that is an original Hanna-Barbera cell. That is one item. The second item, because they performed really well at LA Comic-Con, is a 2-pack of Super Break. These would be almost $130 separately. Your choice of an original color key page by Comic Book Hall of Fame artist Tatiana Wood, Wally Wood's ex-wife. I only say that because some people don't know who she is. And listen, I'm not saying it's Wally Wood's wife to say that she is nothing without Wally. She actually did more in comics than Wally did throughout her career as an artist, penciler, inker, colorist, and writer. So to get a page from Tatiana Wood, and sadly she's a very unsung hero of early comics, it's actually pretty impressive because her work is spectacular and really set the foundation for comic books. And there's also a signed and inscribed Muppet Vision 3D Guy Gilchrist signed print. So Artifacts, Kubert did do the book. Kubert is the inker. Kubert is the penciler and the writer. She is uncredited as the colorist. How do I then know that she was the colorist? She would print her name on the bottom of all the pages she did. Because back then, I'm going to say something naughty, women weren't allowed in comics. Tatiana, being Wally's wife, was able to do things that other women were not allowed to do. Listen, this is a true story. This is a horrible truth, but it is true. Women weren't allowed in comics in the early days. It was a man's job. I don't agree with it. I'm simply telling you a history lesson here. You can actually Google and find numerous letters that people over the years have posted online of Marvel rejecting, saying, at this time, we don't have any room for a woman on the creative team, but we'll let you know if any secretary or filing jobs come up. I'm not saying anything to slander Marvel. This is simply a sign of the times. So Tatiana Wood having Wally as her husband, and if you don't know who Wally Wood is one of the icons and pioneers of comic books. But the reason I state that I reference her as his wife is not to demean her role, but to actually show that's how she was able to put her name on things. Now, even though she has signed the very pages that you see here, she is not credited on that book as a colorist. That credit still goes to Kubert. You are going to own a piece of history that actually flies in the face of what is regularly accepted in that book. Now, I know it's not X-Men. I know it's not Teen Titans or one of the larger books or Batman. It's Tor. Not many people even know Tor existed until they saw these sheets. What you're really getting here is something that throws in the face of history. That's why I urged Doug to buy them, and that's why I myself own a page, is because this shows that some of the greatest books that you saw in the past were not necessarily done by who you thought they were. Just because the credits are on the page, other people worked on them too. That's why I love this. End rant. So does it add extra combining a page from Kubert? So that is, color keys are not the original pencils and inks. So traditionally, back before everything was digitized, and forgive me if I'm being redundant, they would do it on 11 by 17 Bristol board or even larger in Marvel's or DC case. DC used big books, big pages, like 24 by whatever. You would do the original art, then they would shrink it to the size of a comic book page. That was then printed into a sheet like this. This sheet was then watercolor painted by the colorist, who in this case is Tatiana. So it is technically Kubert's work, but it is not the original pencils and inks of Kubert. This is a printed page which is then hand painted. Unfortunately, this page has nothing, it's not an original Kubert. It is, however, the first ever, technically, it's the first printed page of his, which is then hand colored. And then those colors, as noted on the sheets, those are the color codes. Y3, BR2, R2, B3, B2, Y3, R2, B2. By the way, that is 3 parts yellow, 2 parts red, 2 parts blue, if you're wondering what those mean. That is the color keys, how they did them back in the day. That means I used, for instance, behind the little monkey man, that green is 3 parts yellow, 1 part blue. Did you learn something today? You're welcome. So yeah, so you're getting original art. It is the original watercolor. It's just basically a Xerox of Kubert's work. But that's how they were made. Mrs. the Breaker, we have one in our whatever it's called. All right, thank you, Hellbolt. Got it. And here I thought Y3R2B2 was the new Star Wars droid. Portfolio. Thank you. Thank you, Don. Portfolio. Scuba, a file cabinet? I'm going to need one soon. Portfolio. Thank you, Hellbolt. How have I not rotated our gallery wall? Mrs. the Breaker, I chose one that has the goofy tiger face on it. I'll show you the page I chose. So listen, I put my money where my mouth is. Those who are regulars to the scene know I stand behind the things that I sell. And typically, I will get either an artist to do something for me, or I will buy into something if they can't do that. And this is a case where I found these pages, and Doug gave me a founder's fee of 1 page. Mrs. the Breaker, that is the page we own. It is page 9. Yes, I chose the one with cats, because of course I did. If I ask if you've seen any 90s X-Men cartoon pages available, or is it in a higher... you mean cells? Like original X-Men cells? I can get those all day. I believe I can get them for... The prices jumped when they did X-Men 97, when they did the reboot. Those earlier cells jumped. I can find them. I can. I can find them. And not expensive. I did, Milord. I did see it. It's gorgeous. It does. Like a Wolverine cell goes more for a rogue cell, even though I personally would want a rogue cell, and I know Jimmy would want a rogue cell. Thundercats, those are super difficult. So, let me tell you why. Thundercats, Voltron, those two were some of the earliest... I'm going to use a dirty term, and I don't want people to get upset. I'm going to use this term. It's antiquated. Again, know that I'm saying this for a reason. Way back in the 80s, it was not called anime. It was called Japanimation. I know, that's horrible. A vast majority of it didn't even come from Japan. But they called it Japanimation. This is true. Those cells are very tough to get because the earliest form of anime to come over was Voltron, and Thundercats. Believe it or not, Thundercats was not American made. That was a style that was done overseas. Voltron being one of the most difficult. If you can find any Voltron cell, even one with like the smallest character, that is like finding an original 60s Hanna-Barbera cell, which are going to go for $3-4 grand. Voltron, exceptionally difficult. If you get one that has an actual lion in it, you're going to pay off your car probably. Or at least a couple of months of your car payment, depending on how bad your APR is. So Thundercats is quite difficult. What I can tell you is the X-Men ones, I typically have a guy that is at almost every con that does not have an online presence, and he does not have an online presence for a reason, that sells SELLS, cash only. There's a reason he doesn't have an online presence. It's cash only. And I can typically get them. I can tell you if you want a named character on a cell, they're roughly $100. If you want Wolverine, it's going to be a little bit higher. If you want Morph, probably can find one for $75. It is not often going to be a full character. Usually it is a bust or the headshot. or an incomplete cell, because a lot of the cells are actually layered with multiple, like it'll be a head and a body because the arms are moving by themselves in the scene. Those ones, because they're incomplete, you can usually score for less than $100. But if you're looking for like a full Rogue flying, that's a couple hundo. I could get them, but I would have to wait till I go to a con, which our next con, I believe, is WonderCon. I believe he was at the last WonderCon, but I can get some cash cells. He sells cells by the cell shore. That's true. Or he sells cells by the cell store. He sells cells by the cell store. There you go. Can you get that rogue cell? No, I cannot get that rogue cell. I cannot get the one with the curvature of the moon on it. Saporos. Saporos is talking about the curvature of the moon. Scuba has a really good... Listen, all right, can we do a little show and tell? Scuba, I gotta listen, I gotta F with all of you. I gotta F with all of you. I'm gonna pour a little bit more scotch because I'm gonna get in trouble for doing what I'm about to do. Of course, Saporos, of course I do. I'm pretty sure that cell is in the Animators collection. I don't think that cell exists to the public. All right, I am definitely not supposed to show you this. Definitely not supposed to show you this. So hopefully Doug is still doing his kids' sports thing and is not going to be on for me to show you this. Because I am definitely not supposed to show you this. This is a small one. Not the first time that has been said to me. This is an original cell from the TV commercial for Flintstone Dino Pebbles. You can see him with Artifacts is like, oh God. You can see Dino with the Pebbles. So that is from a very well-known commercial. The Mud Monster. Craig's like, I've seen nothing. How about this? Wow, that was beautiful.
That belongs in a museum. So do you.
All right, the Invisible Woman. I actually do have one that is the Invisible Jet, by the way, Saporos. That one is pretty good. This one, I can't believe we got. Kicking myself for not picking up 81 Heavy Metal Cell 20 years ago for 120. They are going for 1,000. I know because I have a friend who just bought one. Lee Cozy was able to get one for $300 because he traded art plus cash for one. Yeah. We had some Heavy Metal original art, the art that was used to make the cell, which means it was likely drawn by Frazetta, though it cannot be confirmed. This cell, I can't believe I was able to get, because this cell has Scooby snacks in it. And not only, who better than Frazetta? Not only is it a Scooby snack cell, which, by the way, a cell with Scooby Snacks in it is a premium. That is like a get, because they're in every episode and they're only in a small scene. It came with the original art too. Yeah. That's a good one. It's cool to have one character on your cell, but it's even cooler to have three. Anybody remember Dennis the Menace? Ran from 1986 to 1988. What the hell? Hold on a second. Well, that just got more interesting, didn't it? All right, then. That just got way more interesting. I thought that felt a little weird. Again, not the first time that's been said. That one comes with 2 original pieces of art. This one is exactly what I was telling you about. This one is Wonder Woman and the Invisible Jet from Super Friends. This is another cell that I probably shouldn't have, because it's a full body shot of a main character and their vehicle. A lot of time went into that jet. Oh, it's a Fruity Pebbles commercial. I actually remember that Fruity Pebbles commercial. It's Wonder Woman and John Cena. So this is really cool. This is from Hanna-Barbera. And some of you will remember that Hanna-Barbera used to do PSA commercials, public service announcements. This one is Yogi Bear and the importance of sunscreen. So this is a Hanna-Barbera PSA commercial for you to use sunscreen. Hey, boo-boo. Fruity Pebbles. Anybody like Star Wars? How about the 1985 animated show Ewoks? That's Vork, by the way. This is another original art piece. Vork and Vindy. And this one goes with this one. Believe it or not, that is a different pose. There you go. That is the secret stash. Someday I will be allowed to use some of these. But right now, most of these are off limits. For now. Batman the Animated Series cells are sought after if you got one signed by Bruce Timm. Or ones that feature the first appearances of Harley Quinn. I don't know if you know this, but Harley Quinn was not originally a cartoon, or was not originally a comic book character. Harley Quinn originated on the animated series and was so beloved by people that she ended up getting her own comic book introduction, and she has obviously been a centerpiece of DC Comics since then. So it is one of the rare occurrences where the animation dictated the comic instead of vice versa. Joker signed by Mark Hamill are $1,500 probably. Conservatively, $1,500, probably $2,000 depending on the cell. Mark Hamill's an $800 to $1,000 autograph depending on the item. Just saying. Don says, don't worry, you have to move the studio at some point. I see a I don't want to pack all this stuff break in your future. Holy shnikes, Don, that is a great idea. I'd rather ship it than move it break. All the big items we don't want to carry over. Mark Hamill did try to kill Kate. That's actually true. This one is Scoobs. By the way, if you already don't follow me on Instagram, DC the Breaker. Now, I will let you know, my personal Instagram has almost nothing to do with work. If you just like my vibe, that's my Instagram, DC the Breaker. Scoobs with our entire childhood in his hands. That's the original art. That he got commissioned and created, because Scoob is a man of distinguished taste. All right. Forward to. Oh no, I have to save that then. Doing it before I forget. Anybody who knows me knows my memory is no so beautiful. Okay. You know what cells I'm looking for. Maybe your contact has some. Yes. Scuba was looking for the I know this answer. Oh, that's right. You were looking for Rugrats cells with Reptar on ice. That's what it was. All right, that's enough scotch for tonight. I gotta be responsible and drink some water. Richard Scarry. Movie lobby cards are kind of cheap. $50 to $200 for sets, obscure movies. Heavy Metal, 1981. So,
Go ahead, have a drink, Lila.
A little bottle of water.
A little bottle of water.
A little bottle of water.
Thanks, Kate. I needed that. Yeah, I can. So, lobby cards. Let me give you a pro tip. I shouldn't share this, but I'm going to. If you are looking for lobby cards, there are different levels of lobby cards. There is a level of lobby cards that are first print, first edition type things. Originally, lobby cards were not the property of the theaters. They were property of the film industry. So there are certain ones that you can find that on the back of the lobby cards, it will be stamped property of Lucasfilm or property of Fox Searchlight. If you are buying lobby cards, ask them if there's anything printed or stamped on the back. And the ones that are not stamped, some of them will have it literally printed on the front. This is property of Lucasfilm or Searchlight or whatever it is. If you buy them on eBay or buy them anywhere not on person, just ask them if anything is stamped or printed on the back. Because the rare ones are the ones that are actually sent out individually by the movie houses. And those ones typically will have their stamp on the back or a printed little piece on the back saying that these cards are property of Lucasfilm, do not copy or distribute without expressed written consent. They exist. They're hard to find. I've seen them. I've held them. I know somebody in the company that owns them, and his name is not Doug. So little tidbit. Most people don't know to ask or to look. Check the back to see if they're stamped. You want the ones that are stamped. They are worth conservatively 5 times more than a standard one. Oh, it's don't link it to me. Just if it doesn't show pictures of the back, just send them a question. Hey, is there any printing or stamps on the back? That's it. It's that simple question. 80% of them will know exactly what you're talking about and will tell you either no or yes, it is property of. Yeah. German theater cards, they would still be property of the place that made them. I'm going to tell you Lucasfilm. I know for a fact Lucasfilm would stamp them. The ones that Lucas would send out themselves, they would stamp on the back, this is property of Lucasfilm. Or have the little thing, do not copy or duplicate this, because this is owned by Lucasfilm. That would be anywhere in the world, because they would not come from the theater. They would come directly from, and I'm using Lucasfilm as an example because it's the one I know for sure. Lucasfilm would send them all over the world from the headquarters and be like, no, you can't copy these are ours. Obviously, they're allowed to keep them. They don't expect you to send them back, but they would stamp them so that nobody would copy them and make multiples, because George Lucas was smart enough to know that everything he was doing was going to be great and sought after. That's why he held distribution rights. That's why he held toy rights. That's why he held marketing. He knew that what he was doing was great and did not want anybody to profit off of what he was doing. That is why it was such a big deal that he gave quarter points to a lot of the actors, because that simple quarter point of Star Wars allowed them to never really have to work again unless they wanted to. But Google it, he gave a quarter point of the films and everything to the big 7 actors. Peter Mayhew, Carrie, Mark, Prowse got a quarter point. Harrison got a quarter point. I think Billy D. No, I don't think Billy D got a piece of it. And I don't think James Earl Jones got a piece of it. Not Greedo, no. Greedo did not get Greedo did not get it. I think it was 5 or 6. He ended up giving away like 1.5 points worth of Star Wars to them as a gift. Alec Guinness may have, but I believe, don't quote me on this would require a little bit of research. If I'm to believe my brain, which is suspect at best, I believe reading somewhere that it was until death, and that when they died, that point would revert back to Lucas, or in this case, back to Disney, because Disney owns them now. So I think it was only while they were alive. I believe when Carrie Fisher died, her quarter point went back. I believe that was a living gift. Google it. You'll have to look at that up, even if it is printed anywhere. But I believe I read somewhere that it was a quarter point while alive. It was a term, a legal term that says you get it while you're alive and then it reverts back when you're dead. I don't know that legal term. Even if you told me what the legal term was, I wouldn't be able to say, oh yeah, that's it. I'd be lying. I wouldn't know it if I read it. But yes, they were given quarter points of everything, the whole shebang. Okay. The U.S. Mint is making Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman coins and medals. Hey now. I like some silver and some gold. Some platinum and some palladium. I'm a big fan of palladium. Palladium is the quiet cousin of platinum, and I like that. Excuse me. Oh, Craig and Thomas and I don't know who you are. Prue. That's who you are. Your packages are being sent out tomorrow morning. I forgot to mention this. I was supposed to put this on Discord, but I'm stupid. I was not here yesterday, which is why I was here all day today. Yesterday, there was extreme weather in Santa Barbara. There were flash flood warnings and mudslide warnings. And the route that I take to work is susceptible to mudslides. So if we have heavy rain and there was a mudslide to occur, it is a roughly 3 to 4 hour detour to get home. So anytime there's heavy rain, I am advised not to go to work. So yesterday, Doug and I stayed home in our separate homes. It'd be weird if we stayed at home together. And I came out today. So shipping got done today. Since I did not go home today, it did not go in the mailbox, which means tomorrow morning I will be mailing everybody's items. So Thomas, yours is going out tomorrow morning. Craig, the card that you won and the comics will be going out tomorrow. And Prue, you also won. Not the thing today, you won previously. That is going out as well. You managed to get your niece and nephews to watch Ghostbusters the other day. Jimmy loves Ghostbusters. Jimmy loves Ghostbusters. I heard a rumor, and I want to say, I don't remember where I heard it from. Maybe it was Mrs. the Breaker. Rick Moranis, they want to put Rick Moranis in the next one. Tales of the Crypt Keeper, I have never seen a Crypt Keeper. Yes, I have seen a Crypt Keeper cell. Yes, I have. He had them. And I remember thinking, boy, that's obscure. He had Crypt Keeper, he had the one where the people are like mechanical bird costumes. They have like hawk heads, helmets. Sephiroth will probably know. I forgot what they're called. Something birds? No idea. Damn it, Sephiroth, I needed you. Could have lied and Googled. It's like Thunderbirds or something like that. He had those, and I was like, oh my god, I remember that from these. He had Silverhawks. Thanks, Brownie. That's it, Silverhawks. I was way off. Skippy, Slappy, Samsonite. I was way off. Yeah, he had Silverhawks. He had Mask cells. Oh, here it is, Samsonite. I was way off. He had G.I. Joe. All right, Carlos. He had G.I. Joe, and he also had Transformers, but they were stupid expensive. Stupid expensive. Dumb. Like $300 for a bit character. He had a Grimlock. He's like $350. I'm like, it's not even all of Grimlock. And he's in dinosaur mode. He's not even in Grimlock mode. It was like 3/4 of dinosaur Grimlock for $350. I was like, boy, you better throw in something else for that. I think I even offered him like $250, and he's like, no. I was like, okay, whatevs. Spawns, I've never seen a Spawn cell. I personally have never seen a Spawn cell for sale live. Exo Squad, no, I'm familiar with Exo Squad. I had the figures. They were awesome. King Arthur and the Knights of Justice, I don't remember that one. But I do remember Exo Squad. They had the toys that had the they click in. They had the toys that click in and you can interchange them. I had them. Yeah. You still have a few E-frames? Yep. King Arthur was the football team that went back. Holy crap, I do remember that now. I do remember that, but no, I've never seen one. He has a lot of esoteric stuff too. A lot of like one-offs, a lot of like pilots that didn't make it. He had some Aeon Flux, which were cool. Aeon Flux was pretty groundbreaking for liquid television. Nope, no box. He had a couple of the Studio Ghibli cells from the Unicorn. I think it was the last Unicorn was the Studio Ghibli. Well, the studio that became Studio Ghibli, I believe, is the studio that did Last Unicorn. He had some Last Unicorn stuff. He didn't have a price on it, and I wasn't going to ask. I do remember Biker Mice, but no, I haven't seen them. Are you just like naming names now to sound cool? Are you like overcompensating for the fact that you didn't have the answer to the one that I was looking for? Did you now Google 80s cartoons just for me to say yes or no? Is this the punishment you're giving me for calling you out, Sipple I appreciate it, actually. Thank you. There it is. I'm just naming cartoons that I saw as a kid. I thought so. So if I try to find low-priced memorabilia stuff from any franchise, cheap items for under 50, as low as 20, well, that's, yeah. So animation cells are extremely important, just like original comic book pages. I own quite a few original comic book pages because they're not done that way anymore. I own some old-school DC ones that are oversized for the Vigilante comic book. I own a couple of X-Men pages. I own a DC page that has Batman and Zatanna on it, which I still can't believe Don Kramer gave it to me for as low as he did. I have cells, and the reason I collect those is because they're a bygone era. They're not making them the way they used to. Cartoons are entirely digital now. I don't know of a single show that uses cells. Cells are very fragile. The paint very easily scrapes off. If you do not care for a cell, or you stack them on top of each other and don't have any protective plastic on them, you will ruin them permanently and forever. I believe cells in 30 years will be worth quite a bit, just like old pages printed in the 1700s. Things that are done on a printing press. Those pages are extremely valuable, even though they still make newspapers for now. The fact that they were made on a printing press with, the, I can't remember what they're called, the letters that you have to interchange the letters each and every page. It has a word. I've had too much scotch to remember it. Those pages, even if they don't reference anything important, are worth something because of where they stand in the history of information. Comic book pages, while some comic books still use them, are on their way out. When you can digitally send a page to a Image or Marvel or DC. Movable type. Thank you, Sepulros. You've redeemed yourself. You may have a cookie. Cells are a completely bygone era. Nobody uses cells anymore. The cells that are available are precious because cartoons were important in media. They shaped us into adults for the most part. And that artistry, and it's original art, each and every one is original art, is only going to lessen in number over time as people in California lose their houses in fires. There was, I can't remember what it was, but there was a Western, a guy who was a famous Western actor, and he had all the props from the show he was on. All of them were the original props from the show. All of them were lost in the Eaton fire. Gone. The entire original props for the original show he was on, gone. There are people, especially in Malibu, in the Palisades fire, who had massive collections of art, of historic Hollywood art, gone. Time will decimate some of these collectibles. And they will, because they were used in a show, cannot be recreated, are one of a kind. I think cells are your, I don't want to say investment, because there are literally billions of cells, but are worth hanging on to. Collect what you love. First and foremost, collect what you love. Don't buy something because some bald fat guy on Twitch or YouTube said, hey, this is a great investment. That's how you lose your money. Buy something you love. If you love heavy metal, buy a heavy metal one. If you love Dennis the Menace, buy a Dennis the Menace one. If you love Rugrats, buy a Rugrats one. I would love a Transformers one. I would love a Voltron specifically. I loved Voltron. I would want Leo the Lion was a ridiculous cartoon, but I remember watching Leo the Lion religiously, which I think had actual religious undertones to it, but that's neither here nor there. Buy what you want. Yeah. What if it's a bald, fat, handsome guy? Then maybe, Soporos. Prue says, unless it's a painted Kai cover, then trust the bald guy on Twitch. So listen, for that reference, I told Prue and everybody that would listen to me to buy the Kai Lung Ku covers that we got. Not because we were selling them, because we knew that we found an artist at the very precipice of his mastery and at the very precipice of his stardom. And when we had them for, what was it, $400 a book? At one point, I think they dipped down to $350 a book for one of the runs when we were running low. And in 6 months, they were worth $1,000 or more. We have sold them on eBay for $900 plus. And he is now doing DC comic covers. He is now doing Image comic. He has done a few covers. He is now in Marvel Snap. If you play the game Marvel Snap, he has 15 cards in Marvel Snap. And he may or may not be working on getting a contract with another major company. Trust Mr. Sparkle. Like, what was it, Megan Sparkles? No, what was the one from How I Met Your Mother? Her Canadian, it was basically Alanis Morissette joke, but they used it on the main character instead of Alanis. Simpsons, Mr. Sparkle, is that the knockoff Mr. Clean? Listen, the only Mr. from The Simpsons I know besides Mr. Burns would be Mr. Plow. That's his name. His name again, it's Mr. Plow. Robin Sparkles. Thank you, my lord. 80 Spider-Man sells? Yeah, because it's a Marvel property. Marvel properties are going to claim a premium. Vader, Predator, and a few others. Yeah, the Kai covers are... And listen, Kai's working for DC, but a bunch of his covers haven't even been released yet. So he hasn't even hit the big time yet, and those have already doubled and tripled for you. I'm going to probably go to my grave saying that was one of the best things that I ever told you guys to do, and you actually listened to me. A lot of people did buy 3 and 4 of them. I own one myself. He also painted me specifically, which started a trend of artists painting me. I'm strangely comfortable with. I gave up on Disney cells. Yeah, listen. Disney cells, oy vey. I was trying to get... so Mrs. the Breaker loves Ariel. The Little Mermaid is her Disney film. And every once in a while, a Little Mermaid cell pops up. If Ariel is in that cell, it starts at $1,000. I actually was registered for the Part of Your World money shot of her on the rock and the splash. That cell, one of the many cells from that scene, went up, and it was signed by the actress. And it was at like $15,000 with like days remaining. I can get Scuttle cells for a couple $100. I can get the dog for a couple $100. I might even be able to get a Prince Eric cell for a couple $100. But you put Ariel in a cell, $1,000 start. And that is like with her eyes closed doing this. Like, it's not even a good cell. It's just because her red hair is in it. Forget it. It is exceptionally difficult. I'll get one day, and I will surprise Mrs. the Breaker, and Mrs. the Breaker will love me even more than she already does. And it will happen, but for right now, it is uber tough. I would not be able to get it at an auction. I would have to find somebody that is willing to trade me for one. And I have some stuff to trade. If anybody, like cash, I don't have a lot of cash. I have a lot of awesome collectibles. I have things that'll blow your mind. So if anybody has an Ariel cell that's real, I've got some stuff to trade that is worth 3 or 4 times that cell. I came so close to getting Mel a signed Topps Disney card Chrome Ariel signed by the original voice actress. So, Scuba, that is very sweet of you. Oh yeah, the singing scene cell is, forget it, it's all owned by, oh no, they're all owned. It's the secondary market. Absolutely. If it's part of a song, sell your car to buy it. Sell your house if it's part of the marquee song. Beauty and the Beast, Be Our Guest, with Belle in there, and heaven forbid it has Lumiere. 10 grand. I'm not exaggerating. A song, where it is in the movie makes a difference. You could have 2 exact same looks, but if one of the looks was in the middle of the song, it's 3 times the amount. What up, BK? You're working on the game. Are you streaming? Tell me you're streaming again. Ladies and gentlemen, follow Blind Cat Studios. If he is working on his game on stream, you gotta watch it. It's a master at work. It's a thing to behold. It's what made me fall in love with him from the very beginning. True story. Ask him. It's real. Yeah, so if anybody does hold a cell from The Little Mermaid that has Ariel in there, I guarantee you I can trade you 2x value in collectibles that you'll actually want for that cell. Just saying. Good night, Don. Love you, brother. Drive home safe. But yes, I always go to the cell guy when I'm at a con anyway, so I will just keep all of those in mind. When I see him, everything you've asked for will flood back into my brain, because that's how my brain works. You're Huckleberry. BK is in here procrastinating. Listen, the game is already 8 years old. I mean, what's another year or two? Oh my God. Artifacts, would you like me to blow your mind right now? By all means, you can say no, but if you're a Lion King fan, I might be able to shock you right now. Listen, we could just have a whole bunch of scenes from Tombstone and Val Kilmer. That would be amazing. You're drunk. You're seeing double. It's all right. I got 2 pistols, one for each of you. Do you recall the original Lion King movie poster?
That belongs in a museum. So do you.
I'm going to show it to you. Give me a second. No, actually I'm not. I'm gonna blow your mind right now. You see this? Would you believe me if I told you the original art for that Simba right there, the one you see in the poster, is hanging on the wall in the DCD Collect studio behind me? I cannot remove that from the wall. That is off limits for me. I cannot remove this. This was a Chad Dreyer piece. Doug's dad, Chad, who was he loved lions. He was able. Yes, Kate has seen it. It's true. Kate has seen it. Mrs. The Breaker has seen it. Don has seen it. The original art for that right there, that and the yellow background, that is on the wall behind me, in the museum behind me. That is the level of things we can get our hands on. Now, that is never going to be for sale. That has more sentimental value than you can imagine. But things like that just happen to come past our desks. It's a matter of us wanting them or not. The prop store just had a huge yes. No, the prop store, so Doug actually knows, of course he does. Doug knows the people at the prop store. We have an inn at the prop store. I know, Artifacts, listen, I hate to brag, but I mean, in the collectible business, it's nice when you can whip out a nice collectible. And that one is pretty freaking awesome. But yeah, that was Doug's father passed a few years ago. And that was on, he has a wall of lion art that he corrected. Like, he has that, Picasso, like, Doug has an original lion on there as well. But he has a whole wall of his collected lions, and that is, you can't touch that. It's off limits. I'll whip out a nice collectible. Oh, wait, it's there. Yeah. I mean, just behind me, like, there's an Eric Dickerson Corona bobblehead, giant bobblehead signed by Eric Dickerson. This is probably one of the greatest stories ever. Still one of the most unbelievable pulls in a live break. I mean, that one is pretty dope too. This one, oh crap, that is, do y'all know who Neil Adams is? As does Kate. Raise your hand if you know who Neil Adams was. I was not blessed enough to ever get to meet Neil. And I was fortunate enough to become acquaintances with his son, Joel. And they had a comic book shop here in LA called the Krusty Bunker. Now, the Krusty Bunker, unfortunately, does not exist anymore. And as you know, Neil did a lot of DC stuff. Neil also did the artwork for the Muhammad Ali versus Superman. And this is a game called HeroClix, a game I used to play and was actually nationally ranked in, and I was world ranked at one point in the game HeroClix. How good, how perfect is that signature? That is not part of the box. That is an actual live Neal Adams autograph on that. It is one of the best examples of Neal Adams autograph that I have ever seen, and I literally was in his own comic shop. He took his time on that one. Joel, yeah, oh yeah. That is, you can almost read the entire Neal. Like, that is, yeah. I didn't even see you guys. Hold on. Collectibles or antiques? It belongs in a museum, as does Kate. Oh, I thought you were going to say it belongs in a museum, like Kate. When I started dating Blind Cat, I became a paleontologist. I mean, listen, Kate's like, I like how DC just ignores Blind and I bickering. Is that bickering? Like, I mean, I've heard the banter of kindergartners go harder than that. So I'm not 100% sure what you want me to do with that content. I do a really good job of making things look and sound as important as they should be. But that banter back and forth, I mean, what would you like me to do with it? Add words to make it good? Right? Craig's like, I haven't seen HeroClix in a while. Believe it or not, they still create sets. But this is mine. They gave me a great deal. It was funny. I got this from Joel not long after I found out I had leukemia. And I was talking to them about the fact that I had leukemia and that it was uncurable. And then like halfway through the sentence, we were talking about like Neal, and I said I saw this like, oh, he had these unsigned. He just had these, just the toy, not the signed ones. And I was like, dude, that's cool. I actually used to be ranked playing that game. And he goes, you know, we have 2 signed ones that Neal signed before he died because they gave him 2 as this is actually this and the other copy. The 2 that they had originally were the ones that they gave Neal to approve. Now, Neal had to approve, obviously, the flat one that they just print the box. But this was the one that WizKids sent him as a, here's the final product, sign off on it. This, and I need to get a letter because nobody will ever believe me. This was Neal Adams' personal, he got 2 of them. This was one of the 2 that WizKids sent Neal as a final product. So I'm actually holding Neal's copy of this, which he signed and never actually had for sale at the Krusty Bunker. We went into a storage unit where he's like, yeah, here, I still have one. Here's 2. Pick which one you like. Folks, this is a true story. I was allowed to cherry pick which one of the 2 of Neal's personal copies of the toy that he signed. That's just the type of stuff that happens. Like, that's, come on, folks, that's kind of bonkers, right? That's like, dude, how does that happen? I stumble into this stuff. So there it is. I'm like the Mr. Magoo of collecting. Anybody remember Mr. Magoo? Guy was blind in the back detective who always got his man. That's me. I just stumble into things like, oh, here I am. That's cool. What is it? Oh, that's mine. Cool. And then to find out, like, hey, do you know who that was? And I'd be like, no, who was that? They're like, that's the star of the show. He just gave you his thing. And I'm like, oh, cool. Know any sales for Cool World cells? Is Hollywood the expensive one? I don't know. I haven't seen any Cool World. I've seen Roger Rabbit, and I know Roger Rabbit is unfreaking believably. Those are thousands of dollars for Roger Rabbit. Jessica Rabbit, the Sapporos Before You Ask. No, I have not seen that cell of Jessica Rabbit. I'm sure the animator kept that cell. But no, there are some live action animated accented movies that are out there. I don't see them very often. I have seen Roger Rabbit cells, and they were thousands. He gets enough of it from me that he's... What am I missing here? I like how he just gets enough for me and he's traumatized. I do. Yep. Didn't he eat burgers? No, that was Wimpy. No, that was... Adios, Prue. Love you, brother. What up, Kyle? How you doing? Kyle, you are catching us at the near end of a, for me, long show, almost 2.5 hours. Steve Ditko original art is probably in the tens of thousands by now. Oh, God, yeah. Those original pages are in the thousands, yeah. I have seen, I've seen Kirby pages in front of me. I wasn't allowed to touch them, which was smart on their behalf. But I've seen Kirby pages that were $100,000. I'm not exaggerating. I've seen Neil Adams pages for 10 grand. McFarlane original pages I've seen. Those are in the 7,000-8,000s. For a ubiquitous page, like not even a stellar one. I'm doing well, buddy. I hope you are fantastic. I'm not interested in Roger Rabbit anything. Only saw the movie once as a kid. I heard the voice actor for Roger Rabbit was annoying. Now, listen, I'm not saying that he was. But I've read articles saying that he demanded to be on scene in a giant rabbit costume to do his lines, even though it was not necessary for him to be on scene because his lines would be added later. But he demanded that he be on scene, and a lot of the actors did not appreciate that because he was getting in the way. I also heard that he's like 68 years old and has like a 25-year-old wife. I've not heard a ton of great things about the guy who voiced Roger Rabbit. Charles Fleischer. All right, Chuck, give me your Instagram. I know you have one because I've been on it. Dude, come on. Why are you hiding your Insta? Did you remove your Instagram page? Tell me you removed your Instagram page because of all of the blowback. She's got to have hers. Where's hers? There it is. Listen, folks, what I'm about to do is probably going to get me in trouble. I don't care.
Go ahead, have a drink, Lila.
A little bottle of water.
A little bottle of water. A little bottle of water.
Thank you, Mrs. The Breaker. I needed that. That is the voice of Roger Rabbit and his wife. There it is. There it is. That's right, he hides it. I might not be able to show some of this. I need to be careful how fast I scroll. Oh man, that was a risky click. There's his wife. She was born in 1993. He was born in 1950. He was 43 when she was born. I'm going to say that again in case you missed it, or in case you don't believe what I said. He was 43 when she was born. He was as old as John Candy was when he died when she was born. Woody Allen still tops the creepiness. I mean, he married his daughter, so yeah. Listen, I'm a nobody. If Woody Allen came to me and was like, DC, listen, I really want you to be in one of my movies. I'll pay you $3 million to be in one of my movies. I couldn't even do it. Not even for $3 million. I'm dead serious. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Even though that $3 million would change the entire course of my family's life, I couldn't do it. I'm sorry. It's like me, I'm not going to be in a Roman Polanski film either. It's not going to happen. You could give me life-altering money. I'm not going to. Okay, listen. What's my price to be in a Woody Allen film? My pride is worth before taxes in California I would need to clear 15 million. So that would be about 28 million for me to be in a Polanski film or a Woody Allen film. That is my price. I'm not exaggerating. It would have to be about 28 million so that I could clear about 15 after taxes. Then I wouldn't care what anybody said about me. I'm going to be honest with you. I've had $15 million after taxes. None of you are going to see me ever again. I'm sorry. I love you all. But with $15 million in my pocket, Mrs. the Breaker, Jimmy the Breaker, and I are probably moving to a private island somewhere in Europe. Actually, it wouldn't be an island in Europe because Europe is a continent, but around Europe. I would not be here. I would $15 million. I'm sorry, I would not be here. That's a true story. Maybe off the coast of Japan, or Japan gets the really crazy weather. Maybe off the coast of like New Zealand, like Tanzania, something like that. I don't know. Tasmania, not Tanzania. Tasmania. Can I have a flight list? You put 15 million after taxes in my pocket. I listen. I lie. You know what? You would see me again. You would see me again. No, Mrs. the Breaker, I wouldn't leave you. You would see me again. I would want to share my success with you. I would. This is true, and I don't mean this in a demeaning way. Because I don't know who half of you are. Some of you could be super successful and I not know it. I would share my success with you. I would share the places that I went and things I did. Because I would want to share the success with you. So you'd see me again, but I probably would not be doing a regular show. I would probably, because listen, the truth is I have leukemia, so there is a potential limit to the life that I will have remaining time-wise. So if I was afforded the ability to have that, I would not stream as much, but you would still know what I was doing. We'd see you again, and there would be signs. I'd have 3 chains. I'd have 2 gold chains on this wrist and 1 gold chain on this one. Money makes us do things. No, that is actual true. Like a TIE fighter parked in the driveway. It would be, yeah. Yeah, I would. It would take 15 million for me to do that after taxes, and then I would just be like, I'm gone, folks. I would get rid of my current Instagram page, and then I would, since I have anybody that's ever purchased from us, you have to put in your email address, phone number, and address. I would send each of you a link to my super secret Instagram page. That would be a bunch of numbers and letters jumbled up so that nobody could randomly accidentally come across the page. I would disable all comments on the page so that nobody could say something that would link it to me. And I would have a private page of just me doing crazy fun things, and it would be private for all of you, and you would never be able to comment on it, but I would know that you would enjoy the page. What's more enticing, seeing the cash of 50K or a check for 25K, or something someone wants to buy off of you? Well, the most amount of cash I have ever held in my life was $12,000. That was in cash. That was the most I ever held. The most I've ever seen was $1 million in cash, because I went to Vegas, and there's multiple casinos that have $1 million of cash in a case just because. The biggest check I've ever handled was $15,000. The cash just hits different. Cash just hits different. That's the t-shirt right there. You want to make 100 grand selling a t-shirt? That's the t-shirt you make. Cash just hits different. You put a dollar sign where the S is in cash. If anybody wants to take that idea, make a t-shirt out of it. All I want is 10%. You can have it. That's my answer. Cash hits different. All right, folks, we got to get out of here. I have a wife and family that have not seen me for 11 hours, and it'll be 12 hours by the time I get home. I'm going to check the gate. The gate is clear. A hand-drawn animated movie has that different thing to it over digital. Yeah, exactly. Because the hand-drawn thing is original art, and the digital thing is... Listen, don't try to entrap me, the digital artist versus the traditional artist argument, because I will tell you, digital artists are just as talented as traditional artists. Digital is just a different medium, but it still requires thought, process, and perfection, and subject matter. So I will never say that a digital artist is less than a traditional artist. If that's where you're going, you're not going to get that out of me. I have many friends who are digital artists. I own many prints of people who are digital artists only that don't do originals because I appreciate their work. But when it comes to a collecting standpoint for me, I want the original hand-drawn art, but I'm still going to collect the digital art. I still have many digital prints. Kai's wife, Jessica, is a premier digital artist. She sells, I don't want to disclose their business, but Kai doesn't have to work if he doesn't want to because of how successful her digital paintings are. So, yeah, never going to say that a digital artist is any different than a traditional artist. Somehow the colors of 70s comic book covers hit different, more vibrant. It's the type of ink they used back then. It was a pure pigment ink. The inks that are used now are synthetic pigment inks. That is my personal thought on that. A lot of the digitally animated movies lack the charm of hand-drawn stuff. I could buy into that, Saporos. I could buy that. That's reasonable. So, I need to... There's sumo going on today, by the way. There is a very special sumo tournament happening in England right now. I don't know if anybody is actually showing it, though. I don't see any of my sumo people doing it. So, scheisse. It looks like Squatting Cat. We're going to rate Squatting Cat because I love her work. She is brilliant. Speaking of traditional artist, let's go see a traditional artist. Oh no, hey, Artifacts, I love you. I do. I love you. Thank you for spending time with me. I'm actually going to tell you how much I love you in just a moment because it's true. That's not what I wanted. Let's try that again. Give me this. There it is. Folks, I had a lot of fun today. I hope you did too. I love each and every one of you. I do. I know there's a lot of places in this age that you can go to get your entertainment, and it is humbling that 37 of you decided to spend your time with me today in one capacity or another. I appreciate that. I don't think you really understand how much it means. It means a lot. Thank you for your time. Thank you for enjoying what we enjoy. And do me a favor. Take care of yourselves and each other so we can do it again tomorrow. Tomorrow, I will have an answer as to whether or not we have sports cards coming in the mail. And that is going to be exciting in addition to the art that we have. I love you all. Take care. Be safe. Let's enjoy Squatting Cat and her absolutely stunning paintings. Take care, everybody. Good night.
And like, it's not.